For you, that first burst of light in the night sky is a celebration. But for your dog, it's the exact moment their sense of safety just vanishes. They don't see a holiday. They don't understand what a calendar is or why the people they trust most are suddenly cheering. Think about where your dog was during the last fireworks show, pressed against your leg, pacing the hallway, or hiding deep under a bed. You probably tried to comfort them, telling them it's just noise. But what they are actually experiencing is far more physical than you realize. We tend to think they are just reacting to a loud boom, but the reality is, their fear of fireworks isn't just about the volume. Before a thunderstorm hits, the air pressure drops. The sky darkens. Nature gives your dog a warning, hours before the first crack of lightning. Their instincts may help them read those signs long before the first crack appears. But fireworks break every rule of nature. There is no shift in the air, no warning in the clouds, just a sudden eruption. 1 second, the house is quiet and familiar. The next, the sky above them is just erupting in sound and light. That lack of predictability is what strips away their confidence. They are caught completely off guard, without a single clue. And while you are watching the show, they are trying to process it. But what they actually hear? That's where the real problem begins. To understand their panic, you have to realize that human ears actually filter out the worst parts of a firework explosion. Your dog lives in a completely different auditory world, one where high-frequency sounds slice through the air with an intensity we simply cannot feel. Dogs can hear frequencies up to 3 times higher than we can. Every sharp whistle and crackle hits their eardrums long before the actual boom. When you hear a dull, heavy thud in the distance, your dog hears the sharp, high-pitched hiss of the fuse burning through the sky. Their ears are designed with dozens of muscles working like radar dishes, funneling every single echo and spark straight into their ear canal. This means the dog sitting quietly in your living room may already be reacting to explosions you haven't heard yet, ones still miles away. This constant rush of high-pitched noise may overwhelm their hearing entirely, and their brain appears to treat every single pop as though it could be a direct threat. So when you try to calm them down, telling them they are safe, your soft voice often gets completely buried under that sensory avalanche. They aren't ignoring your commands. They literally cannot process your words when their entire nervous system is locked into tracking multiple loud noises. They are trapped in a space where they cannot turn the volume down, no matter where they hide in the house. But the noise piercing their ears is only the first wave. What happens next isn't just something they hear, it's something they physically feel. When a firework detonates, it doesn't just create a noise in the sky. It releases a shockwave that travels down through the ground and right into your living room. Dogs are incredibly sensitive to ground vibrations. The pads of their feet are packed with nerve endings designed to track movement and approaching danger. When those low-frequency booms hit, the vibration travels from the floorboards, up through their legs, and they may feel it through their entire body. You might notice the windows rattling slightly, but for your dog, that same vibration feels like a physical tap against their ribs. They can try to cover their ears or hide under a heavy blanket, but they cannot escape the tremors shaking the floor beneath them. In nature, a shaking ground is almost always a signal of something dangerous approaching. Their body instantly prepares to run. Their heart rate spikes, their muscles tense up, and their blood is flooded with adrenaline. This physical shaking triggers a massive release of stress hormones. It is an automatic survival reflex that they simply cannot switch off. That's exactly why you see them pacing back and forth, panting heavily, or shivering violently, even though the room is perfectly warm. The shivering isn't just an emotional reaction to fear. It is a biological response to having a body primed for escape, but nowhere safe to run. They are trapped inside a house that feels like it's vibrating from all sides, fighting a biological urge to flee. But the sound and the shaking are still only part of the story, because as the night goes on, something terrifying begins to happen to the air they breathe. The moment a firework explodes, it burns through a mixture of gunpowder, sulfur, and heavy metals, sending a thick cloud of chemicals into the night air. While we might just smell a faint trace of smoke, your dog's nose is built to dissect the air around them, molecule by molecule. They may be able to pick up on where it's coming from and whether it seems to be getting closer. And to a dog, the sharp, acidic smell of burning sulfur may signal something dangerous, the smell their biology has always connected with fire. For a dog, the sharp scent of burning sulfur may carry an instinctive weight. Their biology appears to connect that smell with danger. Their nose may now be adding its own alarm, picking up the sharp, acrid smell that, to them, has always meant fire. Now combine all three things. The sky is exploding with high-pitched shrieks, the ground is vibrating, and the air carries the smell their instincts have always linked to fire. They have no context for a celebration, no understanding that this is just a holiday engineered for human entertainment. Everything their senses are reporting points to something catastrophic, and their only drive is to find a way out. Driven by instinct, they try to hide. But because the smell and noise penetrate the walls, they find no relief, which only restarts their panic cycle. This is exactly why leaving them alone outside or just telling them to settle down simply doesn't work. You might feel frustrated by their pacing, but you have to understand, their entire nervous system is screaming at them to survive. They are fighting a battle against their own biology, trapped inside while their senses warn them of an impending threat. And when that panic peaks, they will start sending out subtle signals, quiet, desperate pleas for help that most of us completely ignore. When their panic becomes completely overwhelming, your dog will start sending out subtle distress signals that humans almost always misunderstand. We usually look for obvious signs of fear, like loud barking, heavy whining, or frantically scratching at the door to escape. But a dog's most genuine requests for help are often incredibly quiet. You might notice them suddenly yawning, even though they aren't tired. Or you might see them repeatedly licking their lips, flicking their tongue out rapidly while sitting perfectly still in the corner. But in the dog world, these are known as calming signals, physical responses that may help them manage their own stress levels. To us, a yawn simply means they need sleep. To a frightened dog, a wide yawn is a mechanical way to draw in a deep, forced breath. It is their biology desperately trying to hit the brakes on a nervous system that is redlining from extreme stress. When you see them panting heavily, but refusing to drink from their water bowl, they aren't thirsty at all. They are just trying to burn off adrenaline. And if they start compulsively digging into your carpet or couch cushions, they are instinctively trying to carve out a secure burrow. They are broadcasting every single distress signal they know, hoping you will finally recognize just how overwhelmed they truly are. But so often, we just give them a quick pat on the head, tell them it is just noise, and turn our attention away. And when their own attempts to self-soothe completely fail, their survival instinct forces them to look at the only reliable guide they have left. This is the moment they realize they cannot escape the noise or the smell on their own. So, they turn to the one survival strategy that has kept dogs alive alongside humans for thousands of years. They look right at you, not just asking for comfort, but looking to you for a signal about what to do next. In a moment of crisis, your dog uses your emotional state as their own personal survival compass. Dogs have evolved to constantly monitor human stress levels. They track the tone of your voice, your breathing rate, and even your micro-expressions. If they see you panicking, rushing around the house, or speaking in a high, anxious pitch, it immediately confirms their worst fears. It may signal to them that even you are unsettled, which could confirm that whatever is happening outside is genuinely dangerous. But if you remain completely calm, sitting still and breathing slowly, it creates a powerful emotional anchor for them. They might still be shaking from the noise, but your steady presence prevents their panic from completely spiraling out of control. Your slow, steady breathing actually helps interrupt their stress response. It sends a subtle biological signal that they do not need to run. This is why they will suddenly refuse to leave your side, often pressing their entire body weight against your legs. They aren't just hiding behind you, they are physically grounding themselves to the only safe place left, and that changes exactly what you need to do next. The next time the sky lights up and the loud booms start shaking your floorboards, remember what is actually happening inside your dog's mind. They aren't trying to ruin the holiday, and they aren't just overreacting to a loud noise. They are fighting through a biological panic, trapped in a house that smells like smoke and vibrates with every single explosion. And out of everything in their environment, they have chosen you as their only safe harbor. When they wedge themselves under your chair or press into your knees, they are placing their survival in your hands. Your steady presence may help bring their stress response back down, one slow breath at a time. So please, do not leave them alone in a dark room, hoping they will just eventually cry themselves to sleep. And do not run around trying to show them how fun the fireworks are. That just confuses their natural instincts even more. Just sit quietly on the floor. Let them press their heavy weight against your leg and focus on breathing slowly. You don't need to say a word. Your physical presence and your steady, calm heartbeat are exactly what they are asking for. You have always been the absolute center of their world. Tonight, let them know they are completely safe in yours. The next time a loud noise scares them, don't walk away. Just sit down, stay calm, and be the bunker they need.